You're listening to The Main Event with Zach Gelb and Mike Zahn on WHIP.
That's right. T for Temple, you everybody. Zach Gelb and Mike Zahn here with you, taking you up until noon Eastern time, where the Temple Sports Hour will come your way. Time the WHIP studios is 11:12. And what else are we going to talk about for this entire show? Temple and Notre Dame. We've been waiting for it all season long, ever since the Owls took down the Penn State Nittany Lions for the first time in 74 years. And now joining us in the studio is the athletic director, the head honcho of Temple Athletics, and that is Dr. Patrick Kraft. Pat Kraft, Mike Zahn, Zach Gelb, great to see you again, and how are you?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm doing really, really well.
I love the passion you bring for this football program.
Thanks, man.
Because we sit there on the 40-yard line up in the press box, and we see you go nuts on the sideline.
Yeah.
You're jumping up and down. You're jumping. I'm 6'4". I think you jump over me if we had to measure your vertical. And you have such a love for football. You played at Indiana. Mm-hmm. Football's always been a big part of your life. Where does your love for football just derive from?
Well, I mean, it was. I've played the game since I was a little kid, and there was actually this article that came out on from the National Football Foundation, Football Matters, and they're interviewing ADs that have played college football. It started at a real early age. I'm from Chicago, in the Midwest. Football is king, and so it really started there. And the game itself, it's not about, to me, and this is why I enjoy the game and I love my job, is because it's really not about the wins and losses. I mean that. I mean, I love winning.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, right. But I think it's more about I miss the times in the locker room with my buddies, and that's at high school level and in college. I really enjoy being around this team, and I enjoy being around our athletes. But that camaraderie, that grind. I mean, I take that every day at work. I mean, you see me around there. I'm very, people would say, passionate or crazy, but I work really hard to kind of do what I was doing on the field to here. But I also know what football can do to an athletic department, and I think we're seeing that in this, especially in this modern day of college athletics.
There's one picture in specific where Jahad Thomas is tiptoeing into the end zone. You get in that shot on the sideline, you're jumping up and down. Walk me through that moment on September 5th when Jahad Thomas walked into the end zone and you're right there on field level to see it.
Well, there's a lot of those moments, and I did not have ups in that, and all my buddies made sure that. I said, no, they caught me early. I was really, really high on that picture. That game in particular really meant a lot to everybody here. I get emotional actually thinking about it, and it hits me every once in a while, because it's nothing about what we did. It's just what it meant for the university. I saw so many people in tears. My wife came down. I have a picture in my office of me kissing my wife and my daughter coming off the field. And I knew that moment was so big. And so I'm just the passion. I'm like that on the sidelines. I probably should slow it down a little bit. And people, but
no, we love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they should get you mic'd up.
Oh no, for everybody's purpose.
We'll edit out probably all the cursing and everything, but I think we should really get you mic'd up.
But it was that was an amazing day. But there's been a lot of those moments. I mean, East Carolina, Cincinnati. Dr. Theobald was on I almost hugged Dr. Theobald so hard. I was afraid I just hurt the president. But there's a lot of those great moments, and I'm very, very proud of that.
We talked about it on Tuesday when you joined us on the television show that your phone constantly died on Monday waiting for the college game day decision. And this is such a hectic but special time for the university, even our lives right now. This week has just been completely something that we've never had, and you can't really expect what's going to come. But it's just been an awesome week. Take us through your life. The game day's going to be here tomorrow. You're going to be trick-or-treating with your kid, like you mentioned. Just what's your life like right now?
It's really crazy right now. It's a blessing. It's a lot of work. I have to give a lot of credit to Denise in our office, Scott Wolkoff, Craig Angelos. Our team is working so hard. They're down at game day right now because you don't get much from it. And the ESPN's been fantastic, and they have been all about Temple. But they really say, okay, bring the students to us. And so, not being on campus. So there's been a lot to that. So they've really done a good job. But my day will, we'll get up here early. We'll do the live shot with Nagandi here for Sports Center. They've been going on all day, by the way, at Eber Golson, which has been great. Then I'll head down to college game day set. We'll take care of business there. I'll go home. It's trick or treat with my daughter, who's a Temple Owl cheerleader.
Nice.
And, I'll get a couple houses in, and then I'll head to the stadium to kind of get myself ready. Like you said, I'm a football player, so I run around the stadium to kind of alleviate some of the nerves, and people are like, that guy's not playing. What is he doing? But
Matt does the same thing.
Yeah, he does.
He runs before games. He actually once told me I should go on a run with him.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm in a suit, coach. That's just not possible.
Yeah. So then I'll hit I'll get the parking lot, but it'll be a long day. We'll go to midnight, and then we'll celebrate a win after at home, and then we'll regroup because they've got a short week next week.
Is
too.
that a guarantee?
No. Hey, I'm not in the guarantee business. I don't want to give them anything. But I'm really confident about our players. I'm confident about what Matt's done. I'll go with these guys anywhere. So I'm really proud of what's going on down at EO.
As we mentioned, you've been here for a couple years, and more recently, back in May, you were appointed the athletic director of Temple. What does that just mean personally for you and your family? You know, you talked what you do within the position, but what does that just mean, that promotion?
No, that's a really good question. I mean, it meant a lot. I'll be very honest. I worked really hard to get here, and to this point, I think you guys probably have goals and dreams, and this is obviously one of my dreams. And to have that moment, you know, I spoke to the student paper, and I said I had that moment of Zen where I sat in that chair in my office and thought about my dad, and I said, well, okay, you see all these people around you, right? Like, I had this boss, and he did this and he did that. I was like, wait. I'm just going to be who I am. I'm not going to change. I'm just going to be me. I'm going to walk. I don't do emails. I walk to the office, and I'm just going to be me. And I will be that person on the sidelines. Some ADs are in the box. And I said, no, this is what I do. And I'm going to let that kind of go through. So it's been an incredible journey. It's been really, really fun, and I'm blessed to be here, especially at this time.
The athletic director of Temple University, Patrick Kraft, is in studio with us. Got to get to some of the stadium stuff. I know we talked about it a little bit briefly on Tuesday. So Patrick O'Connor came out with his comments, 35,000 seats.
Right.
The plan is for $100 million for this stadium, and it's going to be used for a bunch of stuff. You mentioned the words optimism a lot on Tuesday. You said you're very optimistic, and this is the best thing for Temple. Why are you optimistic that this is going to happen?
Well, I don't know. You know, it goes to a board decision. I'm always optimistic about it because what I'm doing is presenting the facts. That's my job in all of this, is say, here, what questions do you have and what answers can I provide you to help you make an educated decision? I mean, that's I'm a PhD, right? Let's make educated decisions. Don't let fact lead you. And so as I've done the fact-finding missions for this, parking becomes a big question. Well, we have over 4,000 parking spots, 4,000 and change. Parking is not I don't believe parking's an issue. We're set up to do this. Now, parking's not going to be a wonder. You know, it's not like Penn State where they have the pastures, but it's different. We're Philly. It's different. We also have a SEPTA, and we have a train station that will bring a lot of people in. A lot of people are going to go down to Lincoln Financial Field on the train this Saturday. So from my perspective, I see it as I know, okay, here's your questions, here's your answers. And so that's why I feel really good about it. I also know that it delivers what it delivers to a campus. And so I'm just very, all I can do is say, hey, here's the best case scenario.
How do you find those facts? Because those are obstacles that people are going to want thorough answers for. How do you prepare to present those facts to the higher-ups?
Well, I do a lot of research. I do a lot of research in everything. Once again, I go back to I have a really good group of people around me, and we also hired a consultant that, I know only so much. So you bring in people who do this for a daily. So we looked at we have someone that's looking at the traffic and looking at the parking situation. And so I think that's, you bring people in, and no one knows everything. You have to kind of cast a wide net. And so we just work with people to kind of help us through that process.
People are out there. Some of them are very negative. I get why a football stadium would be great here. I think it would be phenomenal for this university. I read some article, like if you asked a student would they pledge like $240 for a football stadium, I would say yes. And I know most of those guys, Silsky and Murphy, but they're a lot of LaSalle guys, and they may have an agenda against this university. Do you think, though, is there any negative with the stadium on campus, or do you just think it's all positive?
Well, I believe it's all positive, but I do think change is different, right? This is a major decision for the institution, and it's really a change in the philosophy of how things are here, right? And President Theobald's done a great job of creating a great atmosphere, an engaged student body, and now we have more students than ever living on campus. So we have to create some excitement and bring it here. But I think that, from doing my research, that was kind of the same conversations with the Liacouras Center, and that has been ultra successful, bringing community events and graduations for high schools. So I get it. I trust me, and I think it's great. I think there should be a healthy debate, and I think there should be questions asked, and this should not be a rubber stamp. Hey, let's go. No, we should do the hard work to find out if this is the right decision. Pat Kraft's thoughts? Absolutely. I've seen it work. I've been at a place in Greenville, North Carolina, that was rocking and rolling in the middle of really nowhere, but the school was very passionate about it, and I think everyone's getting a little taste of it right now. So I think a debate is really good. I think the questions are good.
A question that I always get asked a lot is, when is this stadium going to happen? In the back of your mind, do you have like a timetable of when you want to see ground being broke on the stadium and it being passed?
Well, I think the decision has to be made soon because our contract with the Link, everyone knows, is up in 2018, and so that's for me, that's where I'm shooting for. I mean, I think I would love to be opening up with Villanova in 2018 in a new building, but we first off, we all know how construction projects and it's still so early. This has not. We're still in the fact-finding phase. So yes, 2018 would be great, but we still got to prepare a lot of information, and the board's got to make a decision on how to go. We haven't even. I mean, there's no design. We know the location, but there's no design. We've got to raise the money. So there's just a lot in front of us, and as we continue to go down, we can. We'll have more of a focus on that.
College Game Day isn't just coming to our city, it is in our city currently, and it's very exciting. I have a question that's twofold. What does that mean for the city of Philadelphia, and then what does it mean for the university, Temple?
I think it's huge for both. I mean, you had the Pope come here, I don't know, however we talked about the other day.
About a month ago.
Yeah, I mean, the exposure, and the Philadelphia looked fantastic. I mean, we're kind of like Philly right now, right? Philly is emerging as, I'm new to Philadelphia, and when I heard all the stuff, throwing snowballs, and my wife and I absolutely love it here. The people are fantastic. The restaurants are fantastic. I had a dinner downtown, and my wife and I walked around Rittenhouse Square, and so we're kind of like, that's what Temple is, right? We're this. I think for both of us, it's shown for both Temple and Philly, it's showing the nation who we are and how we represent. And for Temple, I'm just really, really proud of the Temple T. It's not, I get it, it's a football show, but we are going to have students there rocking and rolling, showing the enthusiasm and giving us a platform to showcase who we are and to show our campus. So I'm just really, really, really proud. And I'm really happy for guys like you, for students, for Doc Chodoff, who's 90-some years old, comes on every road game and gets to experience. I guess
Wayne Harden.
That's the first guy that comes to mind for me.
I mean, all those guys, that old guard that really, did a lot. Even Al Golden, who started this whole process. And so it's just really special. I think anytime you have this, I mean, we're going to think about this. We're on every TV in America at 8 o'clock on Saturday.
I know Matt Rule loves that.
Right? Yeah. Oh my God.
And so does Pat.
So do I.
Have you ever talked to Al Golden?
You know what? No, I haven't. I've heard great things about Coach, and it's the business that we're that we're all in. But he'll be fine. He'll be fine. I think he's a really, really good coach, and he did a great job of getting this, getting things in order. And I've heard great things about him.
So how do you get Matt to stay? Because everyone is going to.
I get that asked.
Everyone's thinking that. Oh, is he going to go take another big job? And I think he does have a commitment to this university.
I do too.
But let's be realistic. Every man has their price for the next bigger job, especially in this industry. The last coach, he left pretty quickly. So how do you get Matt to stay as the AD?
I think, look, at Matt and I are very close, and we've built, we kind of came in together. We played in the same generation, and we both played in line. We have similar careers, but I think that's a great question, and I'm confident that he's committed to us, and we talk all the time. We're very open and candid with each other. Matt, Matt's my closest friend, believe it or not, in Philadelphia. When I came here right away, and Julie and Betsy, my wife, we're very close. So look, I am focused on keeping him, but I also want what's right for him. And look, guys, I get asked that all the time, and Matt and I joke about it because we're like, we got a lot of football left in us, and so we are committed. Temple is committed to keeping Coach Rule. He is the right man. He has done an incredible job. You know him. He is a great person, and you know what? We're really blessed. Fran Dunphy, great person, great coach. Our coaches this is an incredible situation. I'm glad people are seeing that, though, for what we have.
Two more here with the athletic director, Pat Kraft, who joins us in studio. Dr. Pat Kraft, I should say. Have to give you credit for the PhD. Something I'll never get. That's why I'm in radio.
Don't sell yourself short,
No. PhD, no chance. I've reached my apex.
I thought the same thing.
I have reached my apex with academics.
That's fantastic.
I have to do these shows this week, which I love, and then I have to write a 1,000-word paper. The 1,000-word paper is the last thing on my mind. Last time we had you in, it was right before the Penn State game.
Yeah.
And you said you just want to see your guys go out there and compete. What are your expectations for the players against Notre Dame, and which is the biggest game in the history, probably, of this program?
Well, remember, we were sitting here. Penn State was the biggest game in the history of this program, wasn't it? I mean, it was a pretty big game. There was a lot of expectations on that. I want them to go and compete. I tell all of our teams, compete. We expect excellence in our department. That is what we expect across the board. Excellence in the classroom, excellence in the community, excellence on the field. If our guys go out there and do exactly what they've been doing, and Matt has the saying, 60 minutes of us, then we're going to be just fine. This is a really good football team. This is no Cinderella story. These guys, they grinded it out. Last year was really, really difficult for these players, but this is a really, really good football team. And so, it's all this talk about the Irish. It's a talk about Temple. We got to worry about Temple, and I think that's all that really matters. And I think that's what's going to happen. I'm really, really confident. I love our bunch of guys. I'm very excited to get this thing going on Saturday.
We asked fans to submit questions to ask you, and we have the best one from a fan perspective. So prepare yourself.
Yes.
It's from one of probably the most loyal Temple Owl fan in the history of this university, and that's Ted DeLapp. He does a fantastic job getting everyone going in the stadium before the game in the parking lot, and he brings a lot of people to the stadium that would never go to a Temple football game or even can't afford
Very
it.
true.
So he does a really good job. So this is why we picked this question. I like this one. Will the contract with Penn State be renewed after next year's game?
Well, we would love to, and you guys know this. It's not as easy as like, hey, let's go play a football game. I mean, we're already scheduled out till 2021 with a lot of games, and they have, they have an uneven schedule, right? So they have to play a certain amount of home games at Happy Valley, and then the Big Ten schedule, I think it's 9. I don't know, you guys know way better than me, but it's like you have to play. It's 9 and 8 and rotates, however. So there's a lot. They really, truly, there isn't an opening right now. And the other thing that I will say to that is, I'm not playing a 2-for-1. If you want to play us, we'll play you home and home. I'm not going to do a 2-for-1 with Penn State. Sandy does a great job there, and Coach Franklin. But we're going to play 1-for-1s. We're not doing 2-for-1s. That puts us at an unfair, advantage in our scheduling.
Is that for all programming in the future when it comes to scheduling big games?
That's the ideal.
Even for like basketball or other sports as well.
Yeah, basketball you don't see it as much.
Okay,
you just don't see it. It really is, that's rare. You'll do a one-off kind of, but no, we want to play straight up home and home, and we believe that's the way it should be. But they don't have many openings, and we'd love to. I think it was great I think it's a great thing for Philadelphia. It's a great thing for the state, and
especially since you won one. Too.
Yeah, but you know what? Go ahead. We'll go toe to toe with them any day of the week, and I think we're not. We're excited about who we have and who we're about, and it's not as easy as everyone thinks. It's not like, hey, I'm going to go call so and so, and it's like a puzzle that has to work. And like I said, we've got games till 2021 already on the books.
I hear your phone's ringing, so I know it must be 97.5 as they're here broadcasting from the SAC. So we got to get on out of here. Thank you so much for coming,
guys.
Today.
Thank you. I love it. Thanks, and good luck with everything. Enjoy this weekend.